president, the first day in office, signed an order saying my highest priority is to get bin Laden.
But what we also want to do is make sure that we're not projecting weakness abroad. And that's what's happening here. And when we look weak, our adversaries are much more willing to test us.
With all due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.
And why is that so?
Because not a single thing he said is accurate. You know, usually when there's a crisis, we pull together. But as I said, even before we knew what happened to the ambassador, the governor was holding a press conference.
What we should not be apologizing for are standing up for our values. There were requests for extra security. Those requests were not honored. Look at all the various issues out there, and it's unraveling before our eyes. The absolute unraveling of the Obama foreign policy. We cannot allow Iran to gain a nuclear weapons capability. They're moving faster toward a nuclear weapon. It's because this administration has no credibility on this issue.
There is no weapon that the Iranians have at this point.
They're moving faster toward a nuclear weapon. President Obama in New York City, the same day Bibi Netanyahu is, and he's, instead of meeting with him, goes on a daily talk show.
The president has met with Bibi a dozen times. Facts matter, Martha. We will not allow the Iranians to get a nuclear weapon. War should always be the absolute last resort.
Can you get unemployment to under 6%, and how long will it take?
I don't know how long it will take. We can and we will get it under 6%.
You know what the unemployment rate in Scranton is today?
I sure do.
It's 10%.
Yeah.
You know what it was the day you guys came in? 8.5%.
Yeah.
That's how it's going all around America. Look.
You don't read the statistics. That's not how it's going. It's going down.
The economy is barely limping along. We're heading in the wrong direction. We need real reforms for a real recovery, and that's exactly what Mitt Romney and I are proposing.
Now they got a new plan. Trust me, it's not going to cost you any more. Folks, follow your instincts on this one.
Who will pay more in taxes? Who will pay less?
The middle class will pay less, and people making $1 million or more will begin to contribute slightly more. They're holding hostage the middle class tax cut to the super wealthy. But it shouldn't be surprising for a guy who says 47% of the American people are unwilling to take responsibility for their own lives.
Vice President very well knows that sometimes the words don't come out of your mouth the right way.
But I always say what I mean. Just get out of the way. Stop talking about how you care about people. Show me something.
Mr. Vice President, I know, Mr. Vice President, I know we are under a lot of duress to make up the lost ground. But I think people will be better served if we don't keep interrupting each other. There aren't enough rich people and small businesses to tax to pay for all their spending.
Let me tell you who some of those other small businesses are. Hedge funds.
Our entire premise of these tax reform plans is to grow the economy and create jobs.
Not mathematically possible.
It is mathematically possible. It's been done before. It's precisely what we're proposing.
It has never been done before.
It's been done a couple of times, actually.
It has never been
Jack
done
Kennedy
before.
lowered tax rates, increased growth. Ronald Reagan.
Now you're Jack Kennedy.
Do you actually have the specifics?
We actually want to have big bipartisan agreements.
But I want to know how you do the math and have this increase in defense
$2 trillion.
You don't cut defense by $1 trillion. That's what we're talking about. This invites weakness.
The military says we need a smaller, leaner army.
I'd like to move on to Afghanistan.
We agree with the administration on their 2014 transition.
We are leaving in 2014.
We don't want to stay.
What
we do not want to do
in 2014.
What we do not want to do, we don't want to embolden our enemies.
Martha, that's a bizarre
That's why we
statement.
want to make sure.
You'd rather Americans be going and doing the job
we
instead
are
of
already
training.
sending Americans to do the job, but fewer of them. That's
right. We're sending in more Afghans to do the job.
Your own personal views on abortion.
Now, I believe that life begins at conception. Look at what they're doing through Obamacare with respect to assaulting the religious liberties of this country.
I accept my church's position on abortion. I accept it in my personal life. I just refuse to impose that on others.
The policy of a Romney administration is to oppose abortion with exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother.
We now turn to the candidates for their closing statements.
My record stands for itself. It's been all about the middle class. My friend says that 30% of the American people are takers. Romney points out 47% of the people won't take responsibility. He's talking about my mother and father.
His economic agenda, more spending, more borrowing, higher taxes, a government takeover of health care. At a time when we have a jobs crisis in America, wouldn't it be nice to have a job creator in the White House?
Have a good evening.